Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, go, go. I got about 100 reasons to leave the party, but I will not go.
Hey, what's good, everybody? What's happening? I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. Welcome to another episode of the Artist Loft podcast where we talk all things art. Listen, today I got a special guest. This young lady is a phenomenal actress and everything else. So we're going to bring her on in a minute. But first, listen, man, you guys make sure you're sharing this live, man. Make sure you like it. Go ahead and share this out, man. We got a lot of things that are going on um, in the world today. So I think we need an outlet to just be creative and just talk about the things that inspire us, that move us along in our creative journeys. A lot of you are creative out there that I'm friends with and that follow me. So, man, I think this is something that we really need. So make sure that you share it, and we're going to get this thing going. Now, y'all know I'm still trying to get all my stuff figured out here, but we gonna get it going, right? Let me see if I can get her in here, and we are going to get this thing cracking. And there she is.
Hey,
What's going on, Miss Actress Debrika Wright Person? How you doing?
I'm good. Nothing much going on.
Wonderful,
Thank you for
wonderful,
inviting
wonderful.
me on the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got to give you an opportunity to we talk art, man. That's all we do here is we just talk about art and the creative arts. So first, just tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, all that good stuff.
All right, my name is Actress Debrika Wright Person. I am born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama. Um, I've been doing acting for about, ooh, it's going on 15 years now. 15 years. And I've been having a really good time doing so. I've been in stage plays. I've done voiceovers, done commercials, short films. Uh, you name it, I've done it. So yeah, so I'm happy to be here.
So you say you've been doing this for about 15 years?
Yeah,
Breek, you ain't
since
but 22.
22.
You just 22 years old, Breek. How you been doing this for
Well,
15
you
years?
know, since I came out the womb, I guess.
I got you. I got you.
Um,
So, um, one thing that I always do on this show, just so we kind of lay the foundation and we all understand the same thing. Just give us a brief description of what you think when you hear the word art.
I think creativity, whether it be what I'm doing as an actress, or whether it be someone who, does photography or art, it's just creativity. That's what I think. When I hear art, I just think creativity.
Right, right. So, when did you know that this was something that you wanted to do? Like, when did you really realize that you knew you wanted to be in some sort of creative arts?
Well, as a child, I always was doing acting. I actually was acting, singing, and dancing. I had my own little singing group with my sisters. Of course, I was the lead. And I used to write songs, and we used to put on entertainment for, like at family reunions. We were the entertainment. We did talent shows. So I always had it in me. But I started taking it a little bit serious when I was graduating from high school. It was like I wanted to like be like acting in music videos. That was my thing. I wanted to be in a music video. But my dad, he was like, he don't know about that life. He didn't think that was the life for me. So I kind of like put that behind me, and then um when I got probably about what 20, close to 30, almost close to 30, I decided to go for it. And I submitted to Tyler Perry Studios. And I was in one of his films as an extra. That's all I was. And from then on, it's I didn't want to say nothing. I just wanted to do, they say,
Right.
act like you're sad or act like something. That was acting. Yeah, that was as big as I wanted to get right then. But
Right.
then after that, after I had that experience, one of my coworkers, she gave me this flyer about auditioning in my local area. So I decided to go do that. And I said, I'm just going to keep with the extra stuff. I'm just going to do extra stuff to where I don't have to say nothing. When I walked in there, it's like, I want you look the part of this certain character. Have you ever, read out, out loud? I said, no, I never did nothing serious. I just want to just be the waitress. She ain't gotta say nothing. So I read the lines. They said, you never acted before, and then from there it was history. I got cast to be in a short series and been doing it ever
Wow.
since.
Wow. Interesting. So you got to hang with Tyler Perry and them over there, huh?
Yeah,
How
you
was
probably
how
didn't know
was
I
that
was there, but
experience? How was that
it was
experience?
it was really great. I mean, I watch how he directs and everything. He is very serious about what he does. It was actually the opera scene where Janet Jackson comes into the opera scene for Color Girls. For Color Girls, his film, it was that
Hmm.
opera scene. I just got to see how everything worked behind the scenes. And then when I went to see the movie, I was like, I was in that scene. I know y'all can't see me, but I was in that scene. I saw how it was put together. It was amazing. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it was incredible.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think as a director myself, finding good talent is not that easy. We run across actors and actresses all the time, but one of the problems that I see with a lot of them is they want to make the characters them and
Mm.
not them become the character. So, what is your process for reading a script, seeing who the character is, and then you becoming that character? Because I just saw a play where you played a 19-year-old uh, gold digger. I'll
Gold
say
digger,
that.
do you not?
Okay. a
I know what
19
you was
year
gonna
old
say.
a 19-year-old gold digger. So what's your process for, reading those scripts and then trying to become those characters?
Well, I do have to give credit to Kiera with Birthright Productions and Jonah. Those were the directors of theater when I came into really taking acting serious. And
Mm-hmm.
they had, well, Birthright, she has this paper that is called the objectives. I forget what this name, and it makes you create a whole story for your character. Create who their parents are, create where they went to school, just the whole nine. So you're
Right.
not just going by what's in the script. You're creating a whole character. And
Right.
what I like to do is I like to find similarities between me and the character. Like maybe I can say that, like for the 19-year-old, I'll take myself back to my 19-year-old self. What did I like to do? What were some of the things I like to do? And I mesh it with the character on what what's in the script. And that's how I can make it believable because I'm mixing my real self with the character in some parts. So some
Right.
parts is true, some parts is made up, and
Right.
that's how I'm
Right.
able to bring her to life, or any character that I play to life.
Yeah. I think as directors, when we write scripts, it is important that we create character profiles. Um,
Hmm.
and
That's what
all of
it's
that
called.
is Yeah, and all of that is going to depend on the actual director. I don't do it for a lot of things. Like, just so y'all know, Breek was also in my short film Endure. If you hadn't watched it, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to go watch it. But
Hmm.
for that one, I didn't create any character profiles, and that was purposely. Now, for
Hmm.
this next film that I'm working on, all of these characters are gonna have backstories. They're all gonna have profiles. I think about when Denzel Washington was in Training Day and he played Alonzo.
Mhm.
The director of that film had a character profile for Alonzo all the way back to his childhood that
Mhm.
Denzel studied to become that character because we realized that character wasn't one of Denzel's typical type roles that we had seen him in, but he knocked it out. Like he
Right.
knocked it out the park. And it's because he spent so much time studying who Alonzo was, where he came from, how we got to that point, and it was just now I can't say that I'm gonna write a character profile that deep, but but I
Right.
think it is important and it does help the talent to become that character because now you have
Yeah.
something to go by. And I think that
Yeah.
that's
It helps me a lot. I mean, I do it with all the characters. Even if it's not required, I still when I go home, I figure out who she's gonna be or and I go deep. And so I think that's I have to give that part credit on how I'm able to, mesh with my characters very well.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So speaking of characters, are there any particular roles that you either like playing or would like to play that you haven't already?
Speaking of that, this the character that I played this past weekend. I always
Okay.
wanted to play somebody ratchet, and because I tend to get a little bit of typecasting. They always give me the executive or some type those kind of roles, the uppity roles
Right.
or whatnot. So to be able to play somebody 19 who is ratchet, that was kind of fun.
You did well. I will say that was, and the crazy part about it, when I saw it, in my mind, I'm saying like she's playing this too well. Like I wonder when she was 19 if
Mm-mm. I wouldn't. I was so sheltered.
really.
Yeah, no.
So it was. So thinking about maybe like the future, right?
Mhm.
How far do you want to go? And the reason why I'm asking is because I've worked with some people who, they want to stick with short films. They don't want to do features or series. They just want to kind of stick with short films. Some people, like you were saying, want to stay in the music video type realm. So for you, how far are you trying to take it? You trying to do a movie with Denzel one day, or how far you want to go?
To be honest with you, I never thought of it that like I just been doing it because it's something I love to do. But within the last year, I really start thinking about it from a serious standpoint. Like, what do I really like? I ask myself the same question. Like, what do you want out of this? Do you really
Hmm.
want to go big time or try to go big time, or do you just want to just continue to do what you're doing because that's what you enjoy? And I thought about getting an agent and really just trying to go for those movies like that with Angela Bassett and and Sonali and things like that. But right now I'm thinking I want to get in more of the commercial realm. Like I want to do commercials. I did
Oh,
one commercial last year and it kind of like I was like, oh, I
yeah, I
like
saw
this.
that. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
So I think if I do try to get an agent or something, I'm gonna be more geared to in the beginning. I'm not saying that I'm throwing away wanting to do the big movies or whatnot, but I want to get into
Hmm.
commercials.
Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes sense. And I think that's important for really any creative person to figure that out because if you don't, and this is for everybody, if you don't know where you want to go, you will burn yourself out.
Mhm.
Um, so you've got to decide because it's something that you love doing, but it's also a lot of hard work involved in
Mhm.
it. And a lot of time when what you love doing becomes hard work, you no longer
It's
want to
not.
do
Yeah, it's
it.
not for
and
me. No.
and that's the problem even I have with shooting videos sometimes is I have clients that I work with, and I like my client work. It pays me, so of course, but
Mm.
a lot of times it doesn't offer me the creative freedom that I would like to have. And then it just becomes me showing up, pressing record, shooting what they want, editing it, and then giving it to them. And it's just not fun.
So it
And
becomes work. Just work. That's what I think about.
that's all it becomes. And I can remember I fell into a time to where, like, I didn't even want to pick up my camera because it just, every time I was picking it up, it was work.
Mm.
And I already work all day. I don't want to do this because it was always an outlet for me. So now this outlet that I like has now become more work.
Right.
So I think as creatives, we have to make sure that we we got to ride that fine line. And I think
Hmm.
laying out exactly where we want to go and what we want to do, like I never wanted to work on big movie sets. I just don't want to do it. Now, I told myself maybe one day I would do it just to have the experience and to
Hmm.
say I did it, but as a career, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. That is not for me. It doesn't look fun. It does like nothing about it looks enticing to me. And I've run across a lot of actors who have burned themselves out.
Yeah.
The
I think I was getting to that point, and then that's why I was trying to find different ways to use my talent, and that's why I think I'm gearing towards commercials. And I really and I know this is not, well, it is acting. I'm looking at skits too. I'm looking at wanting to do skits. Um because I'm not saying that I'm throwing away theater, but I do it so much that I just want another creative way to use my
right.
talent instead of just stage play, stage play, stage plays.
Right, right. That's what I was gonna say. When you start doing the same thing over and over again,
Mhm.
it takes the excitement out of it. And now, as far as stage plays go, how many have you been in?
So many I can't count. I have a
Really?
bookshelf of scripts. Yeah. Over here to my left, I have so many scripts. Yeah, I have like a bookcase of scripts. I keep all my scripts.
Wow.
So if I would have thought about it, I would probably count them before I got on the podcast.
So,
But I've been on
so,
a lot.
so
Yeah.
stage plays is kind of, that's kind of, I guess your
My
thing right
strength.
now. Right.
Yeah. Well, it's my strength. This is what I mostly done, stage plays.
So now we're gonna translate that into actual film, and
Yeah. Trying.
well, well, when we shot Endure, you looked relaxed. You didn't look nervous most of the time. I mean, I think everybody gets nervous sometimes when the camera
You know,
cuts on, and
well, what was going through my head is because I know with film, everything's captured in a small, tight space. And with theater, everything is big. So I
right,
kept thinking in my head, don't be big. Don't be big. You have to do channel. Because somebody told me that one time on a set. They was like, you're still in that theater mode. When you're filming, everything is right up, it's tight. So you have to keep motions, everything has to be tight. You
right,
can't be big like on the stage. So I think
right,
that's what mostly is running through my head. Don't be big. Don't be loud. Don't project. You don't have to
right.
do all of that when
It's
you're doing film.
it's
So
it's
that's what it is.
it's creative decisions. Like you notice in Endure, there was a couple of really tight shots of your face because I
Mm-hmm.
had those shots. Those shots are meant for the viewer to be uncomfortable for a minute. And because in that moment, they're in your emotion. And
Hmm.
so holding that shot makes them uncomfortable to where they almost want to look away, but they don't, but they're feeling your emotion. And I think that's probably the biggest difference between stage and film is, yeah, there's going to be shots where I'm going to get very up and close and personal with you because I
Hmm.
need them to feel that emotion. And because Endure, if you remember, that film was all about emotion. We were just trying to drive emotion. So there was a lot of tight shots, a lot of, because I need them to see your face. I need them to
Right.
be in there with you. And I need them to be in that moment. And I think transitioning from stage to film, I think you did a really good job of really putting that emotion on your face so we can see it.
Yeah.
Because that's really, it's really not easy. Actors a
Hmm.
lot of time, and I've worked with them. Sometimes they don't translate that emotion, and if you don't, then that takes the viewer. It's just like when you're watching something. If you're watching a drama, and here's a scene that's supposed to be kind of sad, and this person has a smirk on their face because they don't know how to, put that sadness out, then it takes
Yeah.
away from the story.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
and that's something that now Terry, who introduced me to you, I've worked with him before. Terry's really good at that.
Hmm.
Terry is real good at emotion. Um, Terry can sometimes come off as the smooth guy all the time. Like he's always the smooth gentleman. I gotta write something for him where I can make him not the smooth guy. I gotta make him something else. But one thing that I noticed about Terry is that when him and the other actress, Keisha Hill, did From Bay to Block for me, Terry Terry and Keisha, let me tell you, they did that film and it surprised me because in my head they don't look like the characters that I wrote it for. Like when I write, I have how the characters look and everything in my head, and they
Oh,
don't.
really?
Oh I've got the look down and everything, and they didn't look like the characters. And so I was scared at first, like, man, this is not going to turn out right. Like this, they just don't. But both of them did excellent at the emotion of the film. Terry is just good at just
Mhm.
he's just good at what he does. That's just bottom line. And I saw that strength in you when on the stage play, because like again, even playing that 19-year-old gold digger, which you're not, but you embodied that character. And I'm telling you, I tried to get the clip of when you sung Bills by
Oh my
Destiny's Child.
goodness.
I recorded it on my phone. I just couldn't get it to the computer.
Oh.
I couldn't get it to the computer, but I wanted to play that clip. It was hilarious. That was hilarious. But and the stage play itself was just a good play. But what do you look for in a script when a director brings you a script and says, "Hey, here's a character. I want you to read for this." Like, what are some things that you're really looking for in that script?
That's a good question because I really don't. I don't. I read the character to see if I can embody the character, but I'm not trying to sound like I'm, boasting or whatever. But I think I could play any character. Like I said, I can play any type of character. So I
Okay.
don't really look for nothing in particular. But I'm interested in reading it to know, And I use this saying I like to color my character. That's what they call it. So I can do different versions of the same character and see what the director likes. Like for that 19-year-old, I did two different versions to see what she can like. Like the Bougetto, like bougie ghetto
Mm-hmm.
version, or the really ratchet. Don't I asked the director which one did she want, and she was liking the Bugetto, the ghetto,
Vegeta.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
she's still prissy, she's still cute, but she ain't, yeah, she ain't got it
Right.
all. And yeah.
Interesting.
So,
I know a lot of actors. They sometimes they when they read a script. Um, I had one actor tell me one time, and this was a couple of years ago. I had wrote a short film, and they told me that the character didn't have enough depth for them. I have no clue what they really meant by that. I got an
mhm.
idea, but what that showed me is that some actors prefer the characters to be more, I guess, for instance,
Explanatory, like just
for
they don't want to
instance,
create it.
right, your character, we don't know her name.
Right.
Right? We don't know her name. We didn't really know anything about her other than she's a gold digger. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess for somebody like that actor I'm talking about, that's not enough depth in that character for them. They want more of, you know, name, occupation. They want to play a whole character. My thing to them was is that this is a short film.
Mm-hmm.
So in short films, we don't have the same amount of time to try to go into a character like you would with a feature film. Like we have to get straight to the point because you know 10-15 minute short film is really a long short film. When people are talking about short films, they're really talking things in that 6 to 8 minute range. You don't have time to dig
Mm-hmm.
into a character in 6 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have time to get a profile and a backstory of the character. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
And so I
So
think,
that's yeah. In that instance, that person wanted. I guess they probably wanted help in arriving at to be able to play that character. What they were asking is something that I'll do on my own. If I needed to go deep with the character so I can connect with the character, if it's
hmm
not enough things in the script, then that's what I create on my own.
gotcha, makes sense.
If I wanted to give my character a name, like in the play, we didn't have names,
Right,
but I gave myself a name. My name was Brechet, but in rehearsal, Brechet this and Brechet that, but we didn't
right,
have names, and I
right.
think when you're missing that, you just have to create it. That's a part of the
But
creativity.
I was gonna say I think great actors can do that. Um, I think you have to be able to use your own creativity to
Mm-hmm.
bring this character to life, and then like you
Life.
said, go to the director and say, hey, is this how you want this person to be? Because when I write scripts, that's really what I want. I want my
Mm-hmm.
actors to use their creativity and bring these characters to life. I want you to embody the character, but
Mm-hmm.
if I wrote a line and it doesn't flow off your tongue well, or you don't think that what the persona of this character is said right, come to me and change it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Make it sound like it's supposed to sound. Because when you're writing, sometimes because things just come in and you just writing, and I'm writing maybe the way I would say it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are sometimes I'll go back, read a script, think about who the character is, and says no, they would say it differently. But sometimes I just don't do that. So that's why I need my talent, my actors, to come in. No, man, that don't sound right. People don't talk like that. This is what you know what I'm saying, and embody and just use your creative skills to
Right.
to to embody who that character is. So you said you've been doing this for now about 15 years.
Yes, going on 15 years in July.
So other than this, what are some things you do as hobbies or some things to pull you away from this for a minute just so you can gather yourself, your outlet, other than what doing this?
Oh well, I like you asked me that. It's like, do I have time to do anything else? But I like, I like, going out of town, traveling, doing. I like shopping, just different things like that. Typical
Yeah,
stuff. Nothing
because
extravagant.
I know you like karaoke.
Oh, I love karaoke. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot to say that.
we've seen the karaoke videos.
Yeah,
Um,
I love karaoke. Yeah, that should have been number one. I should have said that number one.
so you're just an all around entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think that's what's up. I will say, at least for me, finding other hobbies is something that I try to do. Um, like you, I don't have a whole lot of time for anything else for real, but I try to
Right.
make time for something else that still allows me to be creative, but
Mm-hmm.
without my camera in my hand. So at one point, I was painting, um, and I got into that because my wife was a painter, and
Mm.
so and so watching her paint, I'm thinking, okay, I can try this. Now I sucked, okay, but it gave me something to do where I was still being creative, but I didn't have to
Mm.
pick my camera up to do it.
Right.
What that did for me is it allowed me to miss picking up my camera. So if I went 3 or 4 days and all I'm doing is these little ugly paintings, now it's, man, I want to go film something. And it allowed me to be able to miss actual filming. And I think especially as actors, because of how much work goes into playing roles. Like, how long did y'all rehearse for this stage play?
A couple of months, maybe like
It,
2.5 months.
how many days a week?
It started out just being on Sundays, and then as it get closer, you incorporate days in the
Right,
week. The
right.
closer it gets.
And that's a lot of time to put in, um,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you've got other things going on. You've got your family, you've got your job, and now you've got to go do this, and you've got to learn these lines and all that. Like, I think y'all definitely have to have an outlet of some sort, because
Mm-hmm.
that would drive me crazy, honestly. Um,
I know when the show is over, I was like, look, the next day, please, nobody call me. Nobody. Look, I'm off the planet right now.
right. You gotta decompress from all of that. And I think that's how a lot of actors stay in it for a long time. It was Tyrese.
Mhm.
Tyrese, he talked about that because there was a point in time when he was filming Transformers at the same
Mhm.
time as doing the Fast and Furious stuff.
Oh.
And um, that's why after that you didn't see him in nothing. Like wasn't like he was just gone because he said it was too much. These are blockbuster films. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's flying back and forth between sets to film.
Mm.
I don't know how on earth he did it, but he was able to do it. But he talked about, still him. He didn't put out any. I think he put out one album like in the beginning of Transformers when it was coming out. But after that, he didn't put out any album. But he talked about.
Yeah,
Um,
time.
he said he still was making music though. That was his outlet from the acting
Oh,
thing.
okay.
That was how he got away from. even if it wasn't but for an hour out of a
Hmm.
day, he was writing some music, putting on his headphones and just writing music to get away, to get out of that acting space for a minute, because he didn't realize it was going to end up like that. All of that was going to end up being filmed at the same time. So he's, I think for like two movies, two of the Transformer movies and two of the Fast and Furious, they're doing them at the same time. And
Mm.
like these are feature films. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he said he wrote music with his headphones on, and that was his outlet. That was how he got
Hmm.
away from the acting. If it wasn't but for an hour out of that day, he was
Well,
filming one.
I
Yeah,
need to make exercise my outlet. That's what I need to
exercise.
do.
We've seen your exercise videos. Is that something that you? Is that just something that keeps you motivated, or you? Do you like fitness, or is it for a specific goal, or
Yeah, I mean, I don't like fitness per se, but it's good. It helps me reduce stress,
okay?
and I'm trying to get a little weight off too, because I'm only 4'10", and carrying all this around, I
Brick,
get tired.
I didn't think you was that tall, Brick.
Tired.
To be honest with you, I didn't think you was that tall.
I'm not a midget. I know that. Everybody don't. I'm not a midget.
4 foot
I
eight
don't.
is about all I
I
was gonna
love.
give you.
Oh no, I'm not a midget. I miss that. I miss that blessing. I
Um,
miss. So I'm 4'10". I'm headed to 5 foot
you
one
had it
day.
one day. Okay,
One day.
we gonna
You know.
celebrate. We gonna throw a party when that happens.
Don't
We
hurry your
gonna.
breath. Don't hold your breath.
Okay. Um, YouTube, TikTok. We see you
Yeah.
on there too. See you
Uh-huh.
got you cranked your YouTube channel back up. Um,
Yeah. Been going strong for the last month.
Congratulations on that, because I am not consistent with my YouTube channel whatsoever. Um, I try to be, but
Yeah.
it's so you know how you are just able to just pick up your camera and just talk and film and just kind of go about your day vlogging and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
My subscribers don't care about my life.
I don't think mine do either, but that's what they gonna get.
I have done vlogs and done things where I talk about my life and talk about things going on. They don't watch and they could care less. Um, they watch uh, camera reviews that I do, or color grading tutorials, or how to light a scene, things where I'm teaching them stuff. They'll watch. But just my everyday life, they don't care nothing about it at all. None. And it's kind of frustrating because I don't always have something to teach. Sometimes I just want to talk to the camera and just, but they don't care. They don't care at all. Um, um, is that something that you're trying to monetize one day and actually get going, or is it just something that you like doing?
Yeah. I'm trying to monetize. I'm
Trying
trying
to
to make
monetize?
money in my sleep. Trying to find ways to make money while I'm asleep.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So I
Um,
say, I get on Snapchat and I talk and do all that anyway for free. And why not put it on YouTube and
right.
hopefully get paid for it one day?
Well, you can monetize your Snapchat and your TikTok and all of that.
I hadn't learned how to do Snapchat yet. I was on Snapchat heavy. Snapchat knew all my business
It
for free.
is Snapchat is the hardest thing in the world to do. I don't. I still ain't figured. I've been trying to learn how to use Snapchat for years. I ain't figured
It's
it out.
simple. All you
No,
gotta do
it's
is
not.
record.
No, it's not simple. It is not simple at all. I did a snap one time, and I ended up posting this one snap like 10 different times. I don't know how it happened. It just did it. I don't know what I did, Brick. I have no idea. But I don't fool with Snapchat that often. If I record a video that I'm gonna put on Instagram or TikTok or something, then I'll take that video and just put it on Snapchat. But as far as actually recording for Snapchat, it's
Well,
difficult. It's
that's where
something.
I take my best pictures. The filters
Mm.
are amazing. Not a
So,
freckle in sight.
so, with the YouTube space, what is this? I've suggested this to other people that starting YouTube. What is your time frame for your monetization? And before you answer that, let me tell you why I'm asking. Is because some people have unrealistic goals for it, right? I've talked to people's, I want to get 5,000 subscribers and monetize my channel in 3 months or
Oh my God.
or 6 months. And I give people these statistics, and I don't do it to turn them off, but I just need them to understand. YouTube is reporting 51 million YouTube channels that they
Mm-hmm.
have right now. All right. Only 6% of those channels will be monetized.
Mm-hmm.
And only 2% of those channels will be monetized to the point to where the people can actually survive off of it. Now, 2% is still a lot considering there's 51 million channels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have a particular goal of saying, okay, in 2 years, I need to have this many subscribers, try to have, my watch hours down, and at least be on the way to monetized? Or are you just like, I'm just going to keep doing it till it happens?
Number two.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
I'm trying to be consistent right now. Just be consistent on all of my platforms, and then
Do you
So
get
I'm not.
discouraged?
I don't. That's why I stopped so many times because I get discouraged because people aren't watching, or I look at somebody else's YouTube and be like, oh, theirs is all fancy, and that's where I mess up at. But my son, he the one who taught me on YouTube. Him and his girlfriend, they had their own YouTube, and he was out there making videos and being consistent, and they were actually getting paid off of theirs.
Uh
And
huh.
so he encouraged me to do it. He's actually the one who does my thumbnails for me. So
Okay.
every time I do a video, the thumbnails that you see on my videos, he does them
Hmm.
for me. He designs them for me. So
Yeah.
I'm not, I haven't put no goal. I got to do this by this because what I've learned, if I do that and I don't make it by the time, just like with exercise, if I say, oh, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds in 3 months, if I do that after the 3 months, I'm quitting. That's just me.
Right. Right.
If I don't make the goal, I quit. So
You
I
quit.
learned not to put no goal, just to keep going consistent because you never know. After blue, some could happen. Just like after blue on TikTok, I end up getting 10,000 subscribers, and I didn't even. It just happened like all of a sudden. I was just making small goals for myself, like 500. Let me get to 500. When I got to 500, I did a little dance video. Oh, thank you for 500. Then 1,000. Then next thing you know, I'm at 10,000. I'm like, hey, where that went? Where that came from?
So is TikTok paying you yet?
Not yet.
Really?
You would think so. I
With
made it
ten
to where I
thousand
could.
followers?
hmm And I believe that's because I don't get as many views on my as I was getting. So I don't know. I don't know what the algorithm is doing. So I kind of slowed down. I used to post a lot on TikTok, making dance videos and everything, but then my views somehow just stopped. And you would think you had 10,000 followers, you would think that your views would be, but I can get over 200 views on a video. That's
Oh
it.
wow.
So I guess my videos are not being seen.
Hmm. That's interesting. Cause I'm
hmm
stuck with I've been stuck at 122 followers on TikTok for the
Now, if you
longest.
if you get up to at least 1,000, you can start going live on there. And I think that's what I probably need to do, go live. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not the go live type of gal.
Yeah, you got to go live. You got to go live. I've been
Matter of
stuck
fact,
at
I'll
like
do it today.
there you
I'll
go,
do it today. I'll go live
there
today.
you go. I've been stuck at 122 for the longest. Now I'll get eight, 900, 1,000 views on a video, but I don't get any. I
So you
don't
don't get
get
the
any
followers.
followers. Right.
So I get the followers, but I don't get the views.
People don't follow me. That's what. Yeah, I can't. And that was my biggest problem with YouTube. For a minute, I don't know what happened with YouTube. For a minute, I was getting 2,500 and 3,000 views on a video, and then one
Wow.
day, one day it just stopped.
Where it goes.
I
Yeah.
mean, when I say stopped, I posted a video and it ended up with like 20 views, and I'm like, what the heck? So I posted another video, nothing. And I don't know what happened, what changed with the algorithm or what. But for a minute
Yeah.
I was like, man, bump this. I'm putting too much work into these videos, man, to be but I'm doing it. I like doing it. Like I say, I realize they don't care about my life. So
Yeah.
I'll just teach them stuff and maybe and they'll watch that. So
Yeah, I'm
it,
just
it,
focusing on just being consistent. I'm not gonna even look at how many. Like, yeah, I got a goal to try to get 1,000 followers on YouTube, but I'm not. I'm not like hung up about it. Like, I'm not stressed about it. Like, if it
right.
happens, it happens. If it doesn't, yeah,
Well, the subscribers will come pretty quick. It's them flipping watch hours is the problem.
yeah.
Trying to get them two or
That-
3,000 watch hours. That's the
Yeah, and that's why I try not to make my videos now. I stop them at 20 minutes because I know people's
mine. Don't even be
their
that long.
attention span. Yeah.
Don't
And
even be
that's
that
pushing
long.
it 20 minutes.
Right,
20 minutes is pushing it.
right. So before we get ready to get off here, what advice would you give to somebody that's trying to get into acting? Where they should start, what they should look into, or what they should start doing to try to open up some doors for them?
The advice I get, people always want to start big. They want to jump big. Oh, I want to be the principal acting on the set. When you're doing extra work, you learn and meet so many people, and then that's how you keep the networking going. So I would suggest trying to find sets where you can either be extras or work on set, or do some of the background work. Get on Actors Access and do like background work, and you'll network and meet with so many people to where you'll get to that big set to where you. So don't despise the small stuff. You don't have to always have a speaking role.
So where do you go to find that kind of stuff?
ActorsAccess.com is the main one that I use. All the other ones I don't really get on there that much. But if you set up a profile on ActorsAccess.com, then you can find paid and unpaid gigs on there.
Okay.
And then
ActorsAccess.com.
and then on Facebook they have a lot of casting calling groups. You just have to
Right.
go in there and get in there and
Yeah.
network with people.
That's where I put my casting calls at. And there's a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
people that I work with that I know here in Birmingham. A lot of filmmakers. I tried to have one on earlier. A lady by the name of Shy. She
Yeah, I know her.
yeah, Shy. I don't know what kind of magical potion Shy got, but that woman films more than anybody that I know in my life.
I know. I've been wanting to work with her too. She
Um,
she, she has a lot. She has a lot, and
I
she
don't
works with a
know.
lot of actors that I know too.
I don't know. Ain't but 24 hours in a day. Okay, and Shy seems to film 36 hours in a day. I just don't know how she does it. It's but every month or so she's gonna have some sort of a film. If it's just a 5 minute short film, or she may pop off on you and end up with a feature film on Tubi. So like it's
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
it's I don't know how she does it. I don't whatever magical potion she got. I just need some. That's all I'm saying. Shy, if you're watching, I need some of whatever you got. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Um, but man, it was wonderful, Break. I think I think people that are those of us that are creatives, one reason why I wanted to do this podcast is so we can get away and just talk about this creative stuff,
Mhm.
and talk about being creative. Because one thing about creatives that I know, if you're not creating or talking about creating or around other creatives, it will drive you crazy.
Mhm.
Um, it will drive you insane. And this is something I wanted to do to give people, like, this is all we talk about. Like, we don't I don't get into people's, deep dark secrets and all of that crazy stuff, man. We just gonna talk about art. Um and what moves the art in people, cuz I'm interested to know. Um some people just do it because they can. They don't have not necessarily a genuine love for it, but they're good at it. And that's fine. If that's all that
Mhm.
moves them, that's fine. It's still art. It's still creating, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
I do too. I appreciate you
Wonderful.
having me on, inviting me on. I had a good time.
No problem at all. We gonna I want to get all of us on here who are gonna be in the next movie. I want to get us
Okay.
all on here so we can talk, because all of y'all, I've worked with all of y'all enough. There's only person I hadn't worked with yet is CJ, and I'm gonna get him on the show here soon too, um,
Mhm.
so I can talk to him. But I want to get us all on here because all of y'all have different styles, from what I can tell, of doing things, and that's why I think the film is going to turn out very, very good. Because now it makes me nervous, and it does, because again, my whole thing was, this is one of the reasons why I was so nervous about Endure, is because I've got to make y'all look good on camera. And with
Mhm.
Endure, I had everything against me. I promise you, Breek, if it wasn't for the fact that I had already paid for the Airbnb, we would not have filmed. The
Ah.
camera that I used was an old camera that I had to rustle up because my main camera broke down on me. It was My audio was jacked up. Like, it was, we bootlegged Endure to get it done for real. I bootlegged it to get it done. But I had to, because I'd already paid for that Airbnb. Y'all were already
Mhm.
coming down, and I was like, man, I can't cancel this now. I wanted to so bad. And I didn't. Uh oh, I froze.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Uh
Yeah,
oh,
you froze.
I, I froze. Ain't that a trip?
Yep.
All right, y'all. I guess that means it's time to go. I froze. Lord have mercy.
Okay.
All right, Brick. Well,
We can
we gonna
still
we
hear you
gonna
though.
end this. Yeah, you can still hear him. I'm sitting here looking stupid on this frozen screen, but that's okay.